Hey, welcome to the show, and today I want to start a new section, which is camera overviews. So basically, it's not going to be a review. I will give some of my opinion about the camera, but it mostly just will be talking about the features of the camera. In this case, it's going to be a Mamiya 7. Mamiya is a camera manufacturer known for the quality optics and also for very smart systems. And the Mamiya 7 is no, small camera in that Mamiya lineup. So the Mamiya 7 is a 6x7 rangefinder camera. It's a medium format camera. It takes 120 and 220 film in this model. In the Mamiya 7 II, it also admitted 135 film with an adapter. This is interchangeable lenses. So this means you can change the lenses mid-roll. So if you can see here, you've got the lens cap, the lens hood, which is, you can twist it the other way around and also place it. In this case, I have the 80 millimeters mounted, and you have the aperture in the front ring of the lens. You have the focus with the depth of field or hyperfocus, hyperfocal distances here on the lens too. And then we have the camera's shutter speeds, which you have a leaf shutter. So that means it will go from over more than 1 second into 1/500th of a second, and they are all synced with a flash. So this means you can do flash photography in a studio or outdoors up to the maximum speed of 1/500th of a second, which is the benefit of leaf shutters inside the lens. There's no moving parts inside the camera when you take a shot. You can see here, this camera has, let's say, aperture priority. So that's the A. Then you have aperture priority, but with a lock, which means you can lock the exposure and then recompose. So you can get, your metering more accurate. You have bulb, 4 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, all the way up to 500th of a second. There is a lock to move from aperture priority lock to bulb and the rest of the speeds, which is the middle. You have to press the middle and turn the knob. And there you are in bulb, 4 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, half a second, and so on to 500th of a second. Then you can go back to A and you can hear it locked. Look, I'll do that again. 500th of a second, and now listen for the lock. There you go. So that button will disengage the aperture priority to the normal manual settings. Also, you have a overexposure and underexposure here, which you have to press this button and move the top lever. So you push it here, and as you can see here on the right, you can underexpose 1 stop, you can underexpose 2 stops, or in thirds of a stop, and overexpose 2 for 1 stop and 2 stops. Then this is the on-off, so you can on, and like a little pressure will activate the light meter, and a full, click will actually take your shot. Then you have a 1-stroke advanced and cocking the shutter, so you go all the way and come back. It's nice if you go all the way to help it come back and not just let go, because that will end up making the camera suffer. You have your cable release here on the side. You have the flash socket here on the bottom, covered by this little cap, which I'll take off. That's for your flash. As I said, it will sync all the way up to 500th of a second. Then this button on the bottom here will disengage the camera. So if you want to take off the lens, you would press this and turn. At first, if you try to do that, it won't let you, and you might be surprised of what's happening. There's actually no film on the camera right now. So if I try to change the lens, it won't let me. And that is because this camera has been thought out to have a mechanism that won't let you fog your film or expose your film when you change your lens. And that is on the bottom. So look, I'll show you. On the bottom, you see this little wheel. You turn it, and you see there's a curtain coming and locking into place. That will be light tight. So now I can take the lens off, I press it, turn it, it comes off. It's a bayonet mount. It's Mamiya bayonet. It won't admit Mamiya 6 lenses, even though some people thought maybe you could exchange them. It's only for the Mamiya 7 lenses. So this will go back on and lock. Now, the same thing happens when you want to take a shot. If you change your lens mid-roll and you want to shoot, it won't work, and you wonder, maybe I ran out of batteries or something. Well, actually, what you have to do is open the curtain on the bottom. There's this little lock that you just have to press down and it will go back. You see? And that opened the little curtain. Look, I'll show you again. I'll lock the curtain and now I'll release it. There you go. Then on the bottom, we have the 2 little pins to take off the spool. So if we open the back and we click these little orangey things, you see, it disengaged the bottom. Let me show you again. You see, that came out. Now we lock it in again. Same one with this side. You click it and it comes off. This you can push back in. And then same thing here. You take, this is your remaining spool, which you change to the other side. We have to open it. And then your take-up spool when you load the camera. Then if you want to change it from 120 to 220, here's the pressure plate. So you have to twist it one way or the other. So that would be turning now towards 220 or 135. Look, actually you can use the 135 adapter in the Mamiya 7. And that locks into place, or the other way around. This not only changes the distance of the pressure plate, but also changes the back here. That's on 120. Now I turn it, and now it says 220 and 135. Not only does it do that, but it lets you shoot past the 10 pictures. You have your frame counter in front of the advanced lever here. Now it's in single or empty, which is S. It also has a self timer, which you click here and you shoot. I guess you have to click it and shoot. I've actually never used it, so I wouldn't be able to tell you, but I'll show you the instructions. I'll leave a link below to the instructions. Plus I have the brochure here, which I'll try to do a video about later. So that's basically all. On the bottom, you have the battery compartment, which it takes the LR44 batteries. It runs out of batteries like once every 2 years. You'll forget what kind of batteries you need. I actually forget every time, and I have to end up looking it up online or taking the battery out. On the side, you have a side strap. It will only hang sideways. So there's no strap to hang it, you know, in the, let's say, landscape mode. It's always in portrait mode. The Mamiya 7 II has another lug here, so you can hold it that way. So if that's your preference, you can use that. So the Viewfinder has a rangefinder patch that's very contrasty and easy to see. So this is the Viewfinder. So there's the rangefinder patch in the middle. The blue smallest square is the 150 lines. Then you've got the red square here is the lines for the 80, and the wider yellow green lines are for the 65. Also noted here are the speeds are shown on the Viewfinder. So when you're going to shoot, your light meter will show you either the speed you're shooting at, and it will blink on what speed you should be shooting at, or if you're overexposed or underexposed. If your curtain, when you change your lens, is closed, you will actually get like a little light telling you about it. That will be in the instructions, as I said. I will leave below if you want to read them. Then you have your hot shoe, which, as I said, it will do flash photography up to 1/500th of a second. So that's great if you like freezing action. And apart from that, basically the lens lineup. So the lenses in the Mamiya 7 originally are the 43, the 65, the 80, and the 150. Then with the Mamiya 7 II, they came out with a 50 millimeters and a 250 millimeters. So the lineup with the original Mamiya is here. And as you can see, it's 43, 65, 80, and 150. And they actually show you in the brochure what would it be approximately, well, what would it be when you take a picture with a 43, 65, 80, and 150. Minimum distance on the rangefinder being a 6x7 is not the smallest. So if you're really looking to, get close up, it's not the best camera for that. I actually recommend a Mamiya RZ67 or the Pentax 6x7 with the 75 2.8, which goes really close up. So yeah, that's about it about this camera. All I can say is that it's a great quality camera. It's kind of plasticky. It does have electronics. If you run out of battery, there's no shooting with this camera, but it does last forever on one single battery. The rangefinder is easy to focus, even though I'm telling you its minimum distance with the 80 is 1 meter. Minimum distance with the 150 is 1.8 meters, 6 feet if you're in the imperial distances. So also the lenses are extremely sharp, but they're not wide apertures. So the 80 is an f4, the 150 is a f4.5, which you can see under here. So yeah, if you want to shoot like out of focus and stuff like that, this is not the best system. But for street photography, documentary photography, a lot of photographers have been using the Mamiya 7 or the 7 II. So yeah, that's all about this camera. I'm gonna make a video on how to load it and how to change the lenses, even though I did show it in this video. And if you have any comments or questions about the Mamiya 7, please leave a comment below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.